Hello, I am Louis Philippe, King of the French. You're probably wondering how I got this title. Well, it all goes back to the French Revolution, like all good things, where Louis XVI was executed. In comes Napoleon for a bit, then we get to Louis XVIII. Don't ask me about Louis XVII. Napoleon came back for 100 days, but after that France is definitively under the control of Louis XVIII. No one to end up like his brother, he accepts being a constitutional monarch, bound by a charter, but then he died, leading to Charles X becoming the king. Oh, Charles X. He was not like his brother at all. He was against the charter, and then supported the Anti-Sacrilege Act, as a few examples. For many years, the Prime Minister of France was Joseph de Villèle, a part of the ultra-royalist party, also known as the Ultras. But as a compromise with the Doctrinaires, he was replaced with Jean-Baptiste de Maintenac. But when he didn't support the king enough, he was replaced with Jules de Polignac. But when people didn't like Polignac, the king got annoyed. He introduced the July Ordinances, which removed freedom of the press, appointed new reactionary councils of state, dissolved the new Chamber of Deputies, reduced the number of deputies for future chambers, summoned new electoral colleges for September, removed the deputies' right of amendment, and excluded the middle class from future elections. Surprisingly, the French people didn't like this. They then decided to take to the streets. The July Revolution had begun. As the day began, crowds of protesters grew and grew. Soldiers were stationed at major areas to maintain order. But critically, the soldiers did not protect the gunpowder factories or the arms depots, allowing the revolutionaries to arm themselves. People started throwing roof tiles or whatever they could at the soldiers. The soldiers eventually resorted to shooting these revolutionaries. By the end of the day, 21 people had been killed. The revolutionaries then started parading the corpses of their dead brethren around the city. By the end of the day, most of the lights in the city had been destroyed, leaving it in darkness. The king sent Auguste Marmont to deal with the riots. Marmont's plan was to station his units at major locations, such as paths, bridges, and important buildings. But he didn't account for not having enough troops to enforce his plan. One thing that wasn't helping is that some troops were starting to defect to the revolutionaries or just deserting. A committee also formed and started to sign a petition for the July Ordinances to be taken back. Initially, they went to Marmont with their petition. He acknowledged it, but didn't follow up. After that, they went to Polignac. Hey, Polignac, we know you're in there. No, I'm not. Go away. The king then asked for advice from Polignac. Polignac's advice was to resist. By the third day, the streets were barricaded and people were beginning to fly the tricolour flag. Marmont decided against calling for extra troops. People against the monarchy and people for it came up to him with many demands, but he refused both of them and instead awaited orders from the king. A few days later, Charles X was forced to abdicate, and that's where I come in. I was chosen by the people to be his successor, taking the title King of the French, rather than King of France. Oh, looks like the people are revolting again. Well, gotta go. See you next time.